everything up and running here. Give people a little bit to jump on. What's up, guys? What is up? Give it a second here. So, man, what a day. As you guys can tell right here, these are some trades. So kind of give you the rundown. My screen, obviously, I'm sharing the whole thing this time. That way it's easier for people to see the timeline, account number, and everything that's going on. But these are the cells that we got into here. If you look at the daily that we were looking at, this was a dot-to-dot daily trend line that we were running through that zone. And you can see it when you go down to the 30 here. So you go to 30, you got that dot-to-dot, which we had this laid out to where price, if we rejected up here in this area, would at least come and touch. So we were hoping to reject right there at that point, which would give us almost a 700 plus pip push down, which it did. It gave us 800 plus pips. So no complaints there. When we zoom in on it, you can see that all I was doing was connecting this dot right here to this bottom dot to kind of get us a channel. And the way that I was looking at this channel, you know, when you're connecting dots, you're kind of just moving it around to see what looks best. And, you know, I had that one there marked up, and I was like, man, price would have to skyrocket. I mean, look at that. Price would have had to have jumped another 600-800 pips to really have that as a rejection point. So when I was on the zoom, we put it right here on this bottom one. And I was like, you know what? That's not that bad because we bounced. So we had those buys, as you guys know, right through here. And we bounced and we're coming up. And it's like, if we can just reject off this dot, that's going to be our entry. Well, if you look from the top, we go to the daily. This is the important one right here. As you guys know, if you were on the private Discord Zoom with Andrew, myself, Chad, Jeremy, the whole team, you saw us looking at this dot to dot right here. Now we had this dot to dot, but when you connect that one, we'd already blown past that. So the only other dot that we had was this one here. So when we connected it, look what landed on that daily. To a T, it pushed up. Now granted, it did push up 77 pips. So, I mean, my God. If you can't handle 77 pips of drawdown, you probably shouldn't be trading at all. But as soon as it tapped that, we said, you know what? It's time to take sells. Not only do we have some major resistance here, it's a dot-to-dot daily, which means if we reject there, it's going to be a nice rejection. When we scale down to the 30-minute, we had the most perfect jump ever. I mean, it pushed up 100 pips off the break right there, 77 pips. And then it gave us this beautiful wick fill right here where we had a retest. Now, ultimately, the most ideal position that we could have had would have been that one right there. Being able to tap that one there would have given me an entry of almost 128 pips better. Unfortunately, I missed it. I wasn't sitting at the computer. So as you guys know, when we get this wick fill and you get that retest, you just scale down to the 5-minute, right? Right. So when we look at that on the 5-minute, let's start scrolling left. And you're going to see what that looked like. I thought I was about to move something there. All right, so you can see that on the 5-minute, it gave us this little wick right here, okay, that we call the wick fill with the dot. We filled that in, slid it all the way across. And keep in mind, this was a template, guys. So what I have marked up on my chart is the exact same thing I gave out to everyone in the form of a template. If you don't know what a template is, it means I go on here, I right-click, I choose templates, I choose save. When I save this template, I name this template over here in a file, and then I post it up for everyone to see. So that means if you trade on the same broker that I'm trading on, when you load it, it's going to look identical to mine. You're going to see the exact same setup that I'm taking, which is huge. I know my hand's going over here. Technically, the screen's over here. Excuse me. So when we have this 5-minute come back up and retest, that would have been your perfect entry. Why? Because your stop loss, if you were to click sell right through here, your stop loss would have been 26 pips. That's a game changer. Price came up, bounced, that's your other chance to take the trade. Again, I wasn't at the computer. When I saw this 5-minute tap the daily and then break that dot to dot that we had, I said, this is the move. And I mean, you can see it. Quick, 40 pips, fell. I click sell. All right, click sell here, and then I click sell here. Now, obviously, you guys know that the price came back down. We click sell again, and what it did, it went right back up and tested that trend line. I was okay with holding these trades as we had taken prior partials as well as prior profits on this trade setup. So I was like, all right, at this point now, once this thing pushes up, this is where we need to slam back down. And you know what? It didn't slam back down. Look at this. This consolidation that it rode in was horrible. And then guess what happened? It fell. And look where it fell to. Here's the cool thing about it. When we look at this on this chart and we go to templates, we click load template, you're going to see that on my desktop here, I've got these templates. When we look at the template, you can look at the one from 1027, and you can see that right here was that break that we were looking for. This was a good break here, but we got knocked out at break even. We only got 131 pips out of that push. And then the other template, which was the one that we loaded today, is this 11.19, because obviously, 11.9, because today's the 9th. So when you click that, this is today's template. Okay, so this is what I was telling everyone yesterday when we were on the Zoom. I said, if we reject this on the 30-minute and you don't catch this entry, be looking for rejections off this trend line to take the sell. All right, and you can see where I gave my little bitty arrow and I said, this is the ultimate push right here. This is where I want to push to for more partials. I'm going to actually take partials here in a little bit. I'm going to do it live for you guys. I got 5 minutes to do it before the market closes on me. This red, 32,179 and 31,871. This right here is where I'll take first TPs for these two trades right here. And then this right here is my TP for these two trades where I'll be done with it. When you look at it on the daily, that's the beautiful setup that we have. So 372 pips from the first set of TPs and 685 pips from the last set. Now, will we hit it? Who knows? But what I can tell you is we're going to take some partials here. So I'll load my history here, and you guys can see. I'm going to go into custom period. Let me draw that back over here on the screen so you can see it. And we're just going to look at this week. So last week, and that's what we're looking like. So not a ton of profit compared to, I guess what we could have pulled out of it. GU hit TP, which you guys saw this morning at 45K. I had the US 30 buy that we took earlier this week. Actually, that was, earlier this week right here, that was the gap fill for 29K. And then I had this $75 a pip that I closed at 3,165, which was down here at the bottom. It basically was this wick right there. I was like, I don't want to take a chance on this thing pushing back up a few pips and then having to wait on that position, paying swap fees and all that mess. So again, went ahead and closed that one out. So currently, where we set are these trades right here. Now, Andy, what's up with the Bitcoin? So as you guys know, anytime I see Bitcoin fall and have a massive wick coming down, I click buy. That's what I've been doing for years. I've been trading Bitcoin for going on, almost 8 years now and some change. So when I see a big spike up, I'll click sell. When I see a big spike down, I always click buy. So just kind of my thing I do on Bitcoin, and I'm okay to hold these trades. So where we're at is we're going to look at this and say, okay, on the GJ trade, I'm holding GJ right here until TP. As you guys can see, basically right here when I saw it come back down and tap in, like it broke this trend line, tried to push up, came back down, broke the trend line. I was like, now we're consolidating, so let's sell back down to this trend line and it may bounce up. Sold back down, it actually kept going. So I've got TP right here, which is only 75 pips away. So fingers crossed we get that. So I'm not gonna do anything with that one, but on this sell here, if you guys don't know how I do partials, I come in here on that 0.1 and I'll do a 0.5 and I'll close that one, okay? And then this 0.5, I'll take my partial of that one. And then this 0.25 that I have right here, I'm only gonna take a solid 5 of that one just to stay within my, actually that'll be a 10, I'll leave me with 15. And then this 0.01 at $10 a pip, there's not much I can do with that when you look at it. That 0.01 is, it's setting up here at the top, but you'll notice that's my longest running trade that I have. So if this thing runs for another 600 pips, that's another $6,000 on top of the 7. So I'm going to let that one run. The ones I care about the most are the ones that are closest here in case they come back up, because as you can tell, I've got stop losses. I do not have a stop loss on this 0.25 right here. I'm willing to risk this 0.25 because it's on that trend line. So Andy, you've got all your trades with the stop loss protected except for this one right here. Why is that? Because see how it's on that trend line? If price comes up, it could do bounce, 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 wick, and then fall back down. I'm willing to let that one ride with the profits off close. So as you guys have seen, taking the partials of where we're setting at, you know, we started this, we're at the 70,000 some change mark. We're now setting at 92,000 on this one. So it's looking solid. I'm happy with it. The daily, I'm extremely happy with that. And this is what I'm looking for. Now, keep in mind, we have big news tomorrow, obviously leading into Friday with all the elections and all that mess coming up. So something to keep in mind is, again, you know, we could see a bounce right here in that 32, you know, 32,380, 32,400. We could see a bounce right back up into this zone, but ultimately I want to see it go down to 32,179 and then in my TPs at 31,871. Now, I will say this, I'm not going to be greedy. If we get down into this 32, you know, 9 or 32,000 flat, and it's getting close to the end of the week, I will more than likely probably close those trades, because that's another 900 to 1,000 pips. Will we see that tomorrow? Probably not. More than likely, you know, leading to the beginning of next week, but we never know. It could happen. Fingers crossed, right? So I'm gonna look at the questions real quick, see what we got. What's up, Cody? What's up, everybody? What's up then? Let's see. How's it going? Man, it's going amazing. If you guys don't know, I spent the night in the hospital, which sucked. If you were on the Zoom this morning, you saw all the bandages and crap on my arm with all the blood coming out of it, which was pretty nasty. But I'm real sensitive to caffeine. As you guys know, I haven't had caffeine for 3.5 years. And I had my surgery on Friday, which hopefully you guys were able to see that Zoom. That was pretty wild. And just with all that, everything that my body has went through, some of the medication they had me on for my surgery, and then obviously I went to the grocery store and got some coffee. And the coffee that I grabbed off the rack was in the same spot as all the decaf coffee, so I didn't even look at it. I come home, I made a pot of coffee. I had 2 cups, made an AeroPress as well as an espresso shot with it. So I'd overloaded myself on caffeine. I was probably setting at a solid 400 to 500 milligrams in one setting, which the fact that I drink decaf, it normally wouldn't bother me. So I can fix, 16 to 20 ounces of decaf coffee and sip on it all day and I'm okay. The fact that it wasn't decaf started messing with me. So around midday, started feeling a little weird. Just head wasn't right. Told Hannah I didn't feel that great. I've always been a big, person of my health. So I go and, grab the blood pressure cuff, put it on me, check it, and I notice it's high. Normally I'm super dead on or perfect with my blood pressure. As the night progressed, I started getting worse, and then right there towards the end of the night, I was setting at like 162, almost 170, over 110, 112 with beats per minute of 135. So I was like, man, something's not right. We need to go ahead and go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, which I'm glad I did. And then obviously I knew at that point, prior to that, I looked at the bag and I was like, crap, this wasn't a bag of decaf. Like, I just screwed myself up pretty bad. So I'm super, super sensitive to it, as it's been almost 4 years since I've had caffeine. So wasn't a cool night staying in the hospital. We got back home early this morning, laid in bed. So I'm actually pretty worn out. I'm not going to lie. When you've got a night of being in the hospital and blood pressure and your heart rate's through the roof and all this mess, it just the next day makes you feel like garbage. So today, feeling pretty dang rough, but I at least wanted to get on here and share this setup, what I was looking at, show you guys how I took partials in the trades, and then answer a little bit of questions we have. So, and Eric, thank you for that, man. It was a killer session. I mean, Andrew and Chad and Jeremy and Cody and Rudy, and I mean, everyone's just really killing it in the Discord, which I love. So, Dots class was not recorded last night since I didn't like the market setup on it. I will say though, for those of you that were on the class, it's pretty cool because I'll show you this. I don't have it loaded on this computer, but I do have it on here. So the $1,500 account that we created for the Dots class, I don't know if it's going to show up. It's not going to. So obviously I got into a buy on US 30 for that quick little scalp that was in profit for a while. I was in profit almost like 110 bucks on it, but I had the stop loss. It wasn't big enough for me to protect, so it come back down and knocked me out of my stop loss at $80.10. The GJ buy was smacking, and then obviously come down and hit the stop loss at TP, so that was $2.09. And then on the flip, where we said, you know what, this is how you're going to gamble the trade. So you put a buy stop and a sell stop to see what happens. Obviously, it triggered my buy stop. When it triggered my buy stop, it was earlier this morning. So I woke up and saw it, and I just put a stop loss on both of them and said whichever one it hits is the one I'm going to manage. And then it hit the sell. So after, you know, the stop losses and the losses, and then the little win that I had on the US 30 on the sell, you know, the account, a $1,500 account, came out to be $50 worth of profit. So, I mean, nothing to brag home about, but that's how you manage, you know, smaller accounts, which is what people wanted to see. So I'll be recording, though. We're going to do another one probably sometime next week when we just have better market conditions. So let's see here. Look at this question. It says, hey, I'm trying to install the DOT on Carbon Capital account, but I don't see anything related to the DOT. So you'll want to log into the back office. So you'll go into Carbon Capital dashboard, scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see a thing on the left that says helpful videos. Click on helpful videos, scroll all the way down. You'll see a thing called lifelines and template. And as soon as you follow the videos on how to install those, or you can ask someone within the Discord, you'll be ready to rock and roll and you'll have the dots on there. Thank you, Luca. I appreciate that. Yes, I will be participating in CPI tomorrow, hopefully trading live with the whole entire team. Let's see here. Yeah, feel good, man. I just got to relax today and chill out. Is there any way to still be part of the DOT class? Yes, Emmett. So if you go to the Discord and just click on the announcement section, if you sign up for it, it's going to give you a link with a code. And when you use that code, it's going to throw you into the section and you can click and watch the videos, be part of the class, everything. So yeah, you can still do that. And Chip, appreciate it. So another question I had was about the Discord. And luckily I've got the Discord pulled up right here for you guys in case you haven't seen it. So this is the stuff I'm talking about. Like I'm sharing my markups on here with a screenshot as well as the template itself right here to download. So right here's the template you download, and then right here's the screenshot, okay? So, excuse me, as we scroll down, you can see here, you know, sales were taken off the rejection per the Zoom when I was on it with Andrew. Here's the next break I would be looking for. Right there is the template. So when you click download right here, you'll see it's gonna pop up, you know, your little download box. You're gonna save that to your computer. When you save that to your computer, all you've gotta do is right click, go over here. All you've gotta do is right click, choose templates, load template, go to where you downloaded that template and double click it. And it's going to load on your screen exactly what I'm looking at on my chart. So exactly what I'm looking at over here on the screen, right there, sorry, right here is what it's gonna show you on the chart. So that way there's no, where are your lines, Andy? Where are you putting your stop loss at? Where are you putting your TP at? Or Andy, what are you looking for the break? I'm literally taking the exact same thing that's on my computer and handing you the file. The only thing you've got to do is figure out how you're going to react to this. So for example, on today's trade, there were people who may not have wanted to take the rejections on this trend line because they could have said, man, if it breaks that trend line, we're going to go into buy. I don't want to take that chance. So then you might have someone taking the break right here for a trend line break for the sell, which if you're taking that, then you're looking for the TP here. So if you took that break sell, if you took it right on the break, which was the wick right there, you've been set at 282 pips right now. If you took it on candle close, which was this one, you're setting at 239 pips, and there was zero drawdown on that trade. Now currently, from the markups that we've been taking and from the trades that we've been doing, this is how we're gonna look at it. From point of right here to this first spot right there, that's basically 395 pips. We're gonna call it 400. Your next spot, 451, we're gonna call that 850 pips now. The next spot, 600. All right, so now we're at 1450. And the next spot up here, 700. So, I mean, we're setting at 2,100 pips on this template in the same setup that we've been taking for the beginning of this week, what we were looking at for the trades and the rejections. And that's not including the previous trades we've closed out. So when we look at the multiple entries, the multiple rejections, and all that stuff, you're setting it a solid week. So for the people that were part of the Discord, congratulations. Shout out to Andrew and Chad and Jeremy and every single person that's been taking, you know, the time to really go in on these Zooms, because as you guys know, I like to trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are kind of my trading days. On days where there's not a ton of news, a ton of volume, or anything like that, I typically won't even trade. So Andrew, Chad, Jeremy, Rudy, Cody, the whole team has basically been hosting a Zoom outside of my Zooms when I'm not on, to go over the markups, to stay there and answer questions, to go over the market conditions, to go over crypto. So a massive shout out to those guys, because again, that's what makes this group unique. They're not waiting on me to jump on to do something. The community itself is coming together and saying, you know what, if Andy's not trading today, let's at least get on, let's educate, let's look at the charts, let's have some fun with it, and let's see what we can do. So again, shout out to you guys. I greatly appreciate what y'all are doing. I'm gonna answer a few more questions, and then I'm gonna get downstairs and lay on the couch. This is the most I've talked all day, so I'm still feeling a little, you know, not myself, but I'm gonna answer a few more and then I'm gonna jump off here. Now let's see here. Thank you for that, Randy, I appreciate it. Gustavo, if you're wanting, I just probably murdered your name. If you're wanting to load these on a Mac, contact Carbon Capital's help desk and tell them you want to purchase a VPS. I want to say it's like 20 or 30 bucks a month, and it allows you to connect to anything. So like, for example, if you've got a laptop, you can connect via any laptop as long as you've got a remote desktop icon. I use a Mac Studio, and I've got it connected to where I can use my MT5 on it. So if you just log into Carbon Capital, look in the upper right-hand corner and you'll see like a headset. And on that headset, just click it, message them and say, yo, I was on Andy's live stream on YouTube. He said to message y'all about getting a VPS set up, and they'll get you taken care of. So that's all I got. But guys, thanks for checking in. For you all that knew about the incident last night and checked on me, I greatly appreciate it. It was a scary time. Anytime I take in caffeine at all, it really just, it murders me. It makes me feel horrible, which just goes to show what the drug actually does. I mean, at the end of the day, caffeine's a drug. And the doctor, he was funny, the doctor came in and said, I've never seen anyone react to caffeine like this before. And I was like, you probably don't meet anyone that doesn't drink caffeine. Like everything that you have is caffeine. You go into a grocery store, there's, you know, a convenience store, there's 5 coolers of nothing but energy drinks that are loading you up with caffeine. I was like, I just don't do it. I cut it out. And she was like, this is crazy. I was like, you're telling me. I felt like I was dying. I literally got in the car, me and Hannah were riding down the road, and I was like, well, babe, this could be our last ride. I was like, at least you know where all the crypto keys and all that mess are, and you know who to contact, so rock on. Let's see here. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And DJ, yes, we're still working on that. It was just the Carbon Capital Trading View platform is taking priority right now. Everyone wants to trade on TradingView. It's a cleaner setup. Obviously, you know me, I love TradingView more than MT5, but since I'm taking trades on MT5, I want to be on MT5. So again, that's kind of been high priority, is getting that done. Do you have a lower time frame trend lines you want to break for entries? Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at this on the 30, so like this here, this trend line that broke, so let's just do this and highlight that. You could have dropped down to the 5 minute and watched this trend line and say, okay, when I get a 5 minute candle closure below this trend line, I'll take that trade. So that means a closure is a candle that when it closes and pushes bearish. So no closures, no closures, no closures, bam. That one there was away from the trend line, not touched, hit right there. You would have taken the trade on this candle. You would experience on that 27 pips of drawdown, and then you'd have been in the trade. So that's kind of how I go down to the smaller time frames. If you're looking for just that, okay, this makes sense to me, I don't have to wait 30 minutes for something to happen. Let's see, thank you, Andy, for your time. Enjoy, appreciate your effort. Glad you're safe and healing. Thank you, Richard, I appreciate that. Well, guys, that's all I got. Tomorrow, please, I'm going to go ahead and post this link on the YouTube stream. Do not forget to register for the Zoom that we're having. Me and Andrew are hosting a Zoom tomorrow. It is very important that everyone be there. Let's see here. The reason I say it's very important for everyone to be there is we're not just going to go over trading stuff. We're going to go over trading, life, the paper trail that you guys hear me talk about, the Discord, the Dropout Kids University. So I know you can't really see it great on my screen, but if you look here, you're going to see DOK, Dropout Kids University, and you see University. We're releasing an entire educational platform that's based for not just trading, but trading, mental and physical health, business relationships, entrepreneurship, like you name it, that's what we're doing. And it's not just me doing it because I'm not a pro in those levels. We've got, for health, mental, and fitness, we've got certified and licensed psychologists, professional bodybuilders. We have business owners that have built anywhere from 7 to 9-figure businesses that are going to be in there. I've worked with 3 professors that have their PhDs in business management that's going to be helping us as well. So we're going to be talking about stuff like that and then answering questions. So please click that link and register. The reason I say registration is important is because the only way you can get into this meeting is if you are registered. Registration will be cutting off prior to the meeting. So if you're not registered, you're going to miss this meeting. It's not going to be recorded. You've got to be there. So take the link, send it out to your mom, dad, friends, family, wife, side chick, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. I don't care who it is. Send it to everyone you can. Get them on there and let's have some fun with it. So you guys are amazing. Thanks for checking in. And Elite FX, if you send me a DM, I'll check it in a little bit. I haven't been on my phone since just kind of letting myself chill. And yes, you will be able to enter trades on TradingView. So on the TradingView platform, it'll be a full trading platform. So you'll be able to go onto TradingView and trade as you do on MT5 through Carbon Capital. Buy, sell, stop losses, you name it. So it's going to be really cool. But guys, I said I was going to be on here for about 5 to 10 minutes. It's 11 to 26. I don't want to overdo it. Literally per doctor's orders. She was like, you've had your nuts cut on Friday. It's funny saying that. She was like, you had this happen to you last night. She was like, you've got to take time off. She's like, I don't want you sitting at a desk. I don't want you, because she asked what I did for a living. And I was like, well, I really don't do much for a living, but I kind of trade for fun. And she was like, well, that's high stress. And I was like, not really, but she assumes it's high stress. So she's like, I don't want to see you on a computer. I don't want to see you doing anything except laying in the bed or sitting on the couch, relaxing for